What's up, y'all? We're back. We got some more Ateez for you. And when I say we, this time it really is we. This is my little brother Matthew. As you can see from the title, we are starting a new K-pop journey in the same way that I started last August. Um, Matthew, can you first introduce yourself? Anything you know about K-pop? What's your background?
Yeah, I'm Matt, as he mentioned, and truly nothing. I know that you like it, and I've heard the song Butter. I believe that's K-pop through BTS.
Yeah.
I truly have no experience with the music. I couldn't really name you groups. I just found out the name of the group we're doing today, and frankly, I'm really excited. Um, my background with music is heavy hip hop fan. Is Kendrick Lamar is my favorite artist ever. R&B, and all that stuff. And it's interesting, you like really branched out and loved all this music. You started this YouTube channel. My dad also loved music, and it's really interesting for me to see people like first listen to hip hop as a hip hop stan. So I'm really excited to because it's just mind blowing. I don't know what it sounds like at all.
Yeah.
The only thing, it's K-pop, so I'm assuming it's pop. So I'm excited to hear. I think in America, there's been a lack of pop. The last pop song I really liked was "Levitating." I know you like it as well.
Yeah.
So as far as sound, I'm assuming, kind of hoping it's kind of like a cheerful, poppy sounding thing where I can really enjoy like the music aspect of it.
Okay. That was the first time I'd heard that as well. For those who know what album we're doing, it's going to be a pretty funny answer to hear. So yeah, he's mentioned, this is like the third take because I messed up the intro twice, that he knows the name of the group now, Ateez. For those who have visited this channel before in any capacity, it is very likely that it is because I have so much Ateez content. It really drove like my passion for K-pop beyond kind of just like, oh, I like this little groups and it's like fun. Like Ateez was the first group that like drew me into the industry, I guess, even though like there's issues there, but just like appreciating the K-pop as like a concept. And as we get through their whole discography and especially this album, I think you'll understand that and I'll explain it more. But so yeah, those who are familiar with me know that I have talked about this album specifically as being one of my favorites of all time, having my favorite K-pop song of all time, and just general like music. I've talked about how this album transcends an industry to me, where it's like some people talk about like, oh, this Kendrick song is my favorite hip-hop song of all time, or the favorite genre song, enter whatever. This is one of my favorite albums, period.
Wow. Can I ask, are they relatively new group, old group?
To modern K-pop, they are new-ish, but like to generally, I don't know why I put it like that. They debuted in 2018.
Oh.
The groups that I was into before Ateez, before I discovered them, were like 2015, 16, but it's all basically within the last decade. So yeah, enough beating around the bush. This is Ateez. It's an 8-member boy group. Does that sound like a lot to you? Just first of all, like, when I was first getting into K-pop, I was like astounded by how many members they have in different groups. Like Twice is the first group I've gone into, which again, if you know who I am, I've mentioned that a lot. They have 9 members. It's like there's just a bunch all over the place. But yeah, so Ateez. This is the first album from the World Series called Movement. It is. I wish I had. I have Outlaw and Will references lost on him, but you guys know they're actually right there. I have the Outlaw one, the Will's somewhere, and I love both those albums. But Movement is my favorite Ateez album, as my favorite Ateez songs, and I'm really excited. I'm actually super happy that you mentioned the want for pop sounds, which we definitely have and will. But if I want to just spoil a little bit, we're not getting that here. We're not getting that here at all. Any last words before we finally get into this?
So what's the album called? At least know that.
It's The World, or The World Part 1, Movement. It's like, so Ateez structures their music in like sections. So the first part is Treasure. It's like Treasure part whatever. They have like
Okay.
4 or 5 albums. I'm failing already. Like in that, and then Fever has three plus an epilogue. So it's like they have different structures. The world has 3 parts. This is the
Okay.
first part of like this section. So yeah, without further ado, let's get into it. Okay, so here we go. In classic Ryan fashion, I didn't actually say what I wanted to say in the intro, so I have to start it here. I'm starting with this album because I think it encapsulates what makes Ateez so great. But I do think, in the same way that I did, I want to go back to the beginning and show them from like the beginning till now because I think that progression was very rewarding. Again, this hearing this for the first time after going through Fever and Treasure and everything like that was a lot. It was beautiful, but I do want like to show the heights, like if that makes sense. So yeah, any last words before you start going?
I'm very intrigued, a little nervous, excited as well though. So.
Okay, yeah. So you saw this is 119. This is a genuine, like, true intro track, and I think the reason, actually, I'll tell you this after. Okay, this is Ateez with Propaganda.
Wake up. Wake up, world. Are you there? It's time.
All right, before we move on. So, intro, like a genuine intro, kind of a song ish. What first thoughts? What are we thinking?
Wow, honestly, not what I expected, but in a good way. I That was really cool. I like how the music, instrumental, whatever you want to call it, like the music aspect, it was kind of at the forefront, and the words.
Yeah,
My favorite part of the words were in a way where it was kind of like muffled, or like was that obviously it was intentional.
yeah,
That was really cool. There was probably under 30 words said, but
hmm
um, the music was really cool. It sounded futuristic, I guess you could say.
yeah.
Um, that was cool.
Okay,
I mean, when you first turned it on, I saw 119. I was like, wow, that's pretty short.
yeah,
And then one thing I do have to ask: 8 people. I'm looking at 8 people right now. You told me it's 8 people. All of them sing, or
yeah.
what?
Okay, so this is actually a good K-pop lesson. Um, Largely every group in K-pop has specific like units and roles. So like Hong Jung here is the leader, and him and this guy Mingi are like the rappers. They sing sometimes, but like if there's a rap part, it's gonna be them. Yeah, San, Songwa, Woo Young, basically everyone else are singers. Jongho, you'll see, ooh, definitely later. One of the best voices I've heard just out in any genre. But yeah, so all of them are involved. Like Yo Sang's a dancer, so he's like in the choreo parts. That's where he really shines the most. But yeah, it is. It they have specific roles and they kind of work through that. But all of them have vocal parts. But yeah, that actually is a good question.
Yeah, that. Sorry,
No, no,
that
please.
was cool. Like the main thing I look for in album intros, or one of the main thing is, it grabbed me, and
Hmm.
it like captivated. Like I'm into it. With the
Yeah,
sounds, with the muffle. Like there was so much different stuff that happened. It wasn't kind of basic. It was really cool, and like it grabbed me in. And then the ending was kind of cool how it tailed off. One,
yeah,
you don't have to answer, but I wonder if in hip hop there's a lot of transitions from songs. That
hmm
kind of like it could have been a cool one, although it went kind of silent. You don't have to answer, but it's one thing I'm interested to see if there's
yeah.
transitions.
No, that is something interesting because I really care about how songs flow from song to song, and I was gonna go back and let it play through just for
Okay,
the
that's
next one.
cool. It sounded like it the way it was
Yeah,
really cool. Yeah.
yeah. Okay. One thing I kind of buried the lead, folks. That again, if you are familiar with the channel, you know where my leans are. So Ateez is a group that has like lore, like
Okay.
legitimate story that is ongoing throughout their music, and this album in particular was like the beginning of, like the World Series that I was talking to you about before. It was the beginning of like, for me at least, them truly establishing that every single word or like theme that in the songs, even like the B-sides, not even just the lead singles, has to do with the story in some way, like the theme of it. So you got the muffled, like kind of distorted vocals. That's like them on the radio. It's kind of, I'll let you keep uncovering just like the concepts and ideas, like emotionally. So I won't go too much into it to spoil.
Okay, now I'm really excited.
Yeah.
I love everything about storytelling. I love concept albums where it's flowing.
Yeah.
If you know anything about rap, Kendrick Lamar, that's what he does. So I'm excited
Yeah,
now.
that it's very is is the parallels are pretty funny. Okay, so that was propaganda, really cool intro. I loved how it set the atmosphere for what we're gonna hear, and without even knowing. And now that I do know, this is the only intro song that has ever been in my like top 10 of Spotify plays all time, just because I've listened to this album so much that I press it. So yeah, we're gonna let it roll into Sector 1, which is the second song on the album. Yeah, just had to make sure. So that was Sector 1.
What? Wow. Okay. First, I'll start with the intro. The kind of how I talked about the intro track. Intro was incredible. Again, I said the first track grabbed me into the album. This song that did really grab me into it. I am particularly starstruck and blown away that I've never listened to a song with 8 artists, and the way that it, like, they all complement each other and it didn't feel too much like that. Again, I don't know if this is a common thing in K-pop, but that, of all the music I've heard, that was truly incredible, the way that every single one of those guys complement each other.
Yeah.
One of them, I believe, was on the left, was particularly kind of hype. One of them had was like very good. All of them had great voices, but one of them had, I believe, it was the chorus, sounded very good.
Okay.
But yeah, and then the production, of course, really cool, really cool. I love the way that sounded.
Yeah.
At first I started off looking at the lyrics, and then I feel like the production really grabbed me, and I was trying to see who was singing at the time. But yeah, that was really cool track.
Yeah. I one thing I appreciate about this group more than most is that they have a very consistent in-house production team, which for you coming from a hip hop background, like as a listener, is like common, but in K-pop, it is actually very uncommon for groups to have autonomy over the music and like control.
Really?
So Hongjoong and Mingi both are very consistent writers for almost all of their songs. And Hongjoong and Mingi is starting a little bit more too, has a lot of production credits as well. But they have like a production team of Edenary names that are, but like a producer named Eden and and Maddox and two other people that are like basically every single song. So I think that's also why everything sounds so cohesive, because like the vision is clear for the music and it's the same people every time, so you can build off of it instead of grabbing different producers that are like popular and well like good, because I still like other K-pop songs. But if I'm going to compare quality versus quality, that's the type of stuff that wins out to me. So yeah, Sector 1, a little more tidbit of fan stuff that they will kill me if I don't mention. Um, Actually, I don't know if this would be relevant to you. Never mind. I was gonna talk about the potential title track stuff. Anyway, actually, as I bring that up, I mentioned like lead singles for other music. Those are title tracks here. Like that's what they're called in K-pop, and they're not like released before. It's just the title tracks kind of establish the concept for the whole album,
Oh,
or
okay.
like the presentation of the album. And this was considered to be one of them. It isn't for this one.
Oh.
We'll get to that. I'll let you know after we hear the title track. But yeah, so that's a this one kind of has a more grand feeling. At least to me, when I first heard it, I was like, oh, that makes sense. That it was like kind of a title track thing. All right, next we have Cyberpunk. I'm very excited to see how you feel about this.
누구도 벗어나지 않는 여기 넌
Wow. Okay, that was awesome. Okay, right off the bat, um, I don't know what he how did you pronounce Yun?
This guy?
Yeah.
You
Okay,
know.
but whatever. When it went to Jong Ho, is that how you
Yeah,
pronounce it?
that's how you pronounce it.
I want to feel that part was awesome. It was kind of mellowish, like nice steady voice, and then he really went at it with the vocal. That was awesome. That was
Yeah.
my favorite part. He's a great singer. That the production through all three songs has been really cool. Like really truly cool. I love production. I don't like basic kind of I don't really like basic kind of boring production. This has been really cool when the track goes from 0 to 1 second to 2 second. When if you can feel it in your headphones and it grabs you in, I think they've done that really well.
Yeah.
I'm continuing to be blown away by the way 8 guys can just fit like that and bounce off each other. The dynamic between again I forgot who the first guy was, but going to Jung Ho, that dynamic that was freaking awesome.
Yeah.
Well, I do have to ask. I saw who it was. It was how do you say Mingy?
Yeah.
Okay, Mingy. He was singing particularly fast, and I don't want to make a comparison that would be offensive, but is that a different style compared to like the singing of Jungho? Because in one of those verses he was talking kind of faster. I guess I would say.
Yeah, so Mingy, except for a few songs, he's like exclusively a rapper, or at
Okay,
least in
I
like
didn't
the
want to say
delivery.
rap, but it sounded kind of like
No,
rap.
yeah.
Okay.
So no, he's literally like his role is rapper.
Okay, that was cool.
He's his delivery is very unique. Like you could very let's just look without K-pop. You could really pick up the influence from like Western artists as they refer to him as, but it's still really unique to him, which I really like. Um, yeah, I think lyrically, I don't know how much of a chance did you get to like look into that.
I was reading it and then it was kind of going. The one that sucks me was I want to feel alive.
Yeah, yeah. So I think this is the most um emotionally dense. No, the next song is up there too, but it's the most straightforward about the concept. So just so like you can maybe pick up on it more. The entire storyline is way too much to tell you now, but the gist of it is there's two. That's even too much. I was going to talk about the world lines. So right now, there's a world A, world Z. World A is kind of normal. World Z is a dystopian, emotionless world called like it's a major metropolitan city called Strickland, where emotion is outlawed. Like literally, like they've brainwashed, they've implanted chips into citizens, where emotion is unable to be felt, and these guys come in the form of how Ateez. As I explain, I realize how much stuff goes on because I have like hours and hours of videos specifically about the lore, not even the music. But anyway, yeah. So that's just the gist of it. They're outlaws rebelling against an oppressive regime that outlaws all emotion and creative expression. That's like the general idea. Okay. So this is for sure fan favorite.
Okay. Yeah, I can honestly kind of tell like
Yeah.
it was probably really popular. It
Yeah,
sounded
the
awesome.
performance for this is incredibly popular. For reasons that you might see why if we get into that stuff.
Man, eight man performance probably electric.
It's this is I don't know if you if I told you, I'm going to see them in concert
really?
in New York in
Oh,
August. I'm
I
like
didn't know
flying
that.
to New York to see it because they perform when we get back from our trip, so I
Okay.
won't be able to see here. Yeah, this is one of my favorite songs from them. This is incredibly
It's
hot.
we've gone through three. It's definitely my favorite.
Yeah. Okay. No preamble, Gorilla. This is the title track, like as I talked about. So this is like the one with the music video and stuff. So we go Gorilla. I apologize in advance. I'm gonna raise the volume as loud as possible. Let me know if it's too loud,
Okay.
because this one needs to be high. All right. Actually, I'm gonna do it before we even get there. Let's go to Gorilla.
I got it back. 반에 뒤집어 this game one chance 바로 지금 midday. Hack like that. 짧고 강렬한 이
He also raps.
나를 따라 쉽게.
Wow. Okay. That was an intense song.
Yeah.
I'll say I freaking love the way Jungho sings. I wonder who's maybe you can tell me at the end. I wonder who's like the most fan favorite. But he has an incredible voice. The production was strong. Like it was strong right there. It's like I think it was one that would get me hyped to work out with too. Honestly, because
Yeah.
production. I love the way it would. I wish I could remember the words. God, I wish I could. But Jongho had the part where he's really showing off his vocals, and then it would go to the three other guys. I wish I remember the words.
Yeah.
You probably know what I'm talking about. That part, that was awesome. They did, a couple times. But that was freaking awesome. The way that they could, build something up with with the production and the voice of like a Jungho, and then it kind of goes silent, and then I don't know who was singing, but it was kind of building up, and it went quiet for a little bit, and then me started rapping. That was awesome too. Like I wonder who. I'm assuming they have they all collectively work to make the music. Whoever's in charge of that is really special because the way they're able to use the sounds, use the voices, use the production to make you feel something. It's really awesome.
Yeah. Sorry, I'm going to do this live. I realize I might as well show you the music video. Yeah, I mentioned before one of these songs is one of my favorite of all time, and that is this one.
Okay,
I
makes sense.
I think I was just shocked that a K-pop group made a song like this.
Yeah.
I was just this whole album. I think that's why it sticks with me so much, because the next two, which we won't get to for a while actually, because we're going back to the beginning. But this whole The World trilogy is one of my favorite trilogies of music of all time, and it's one of the best I think executed, because they're all three concept albums that present different things, and it's incredible. But yeah, the parts you mentioned, we could watch the music video so you can listen for it again. Actually, let's watch it first, and then I'll get your continued thoughts. So this is also one of my favorite music videos from them. You can let me know if you want me to pause too, because we've heard this song.
I'll try to point out what I
Yeah.
was talking about.
This is the Strickland that I was talking about, the world.
I got it back. 판을 뒤집어 this game one chance 바로 지금 midday. Hack like that. 짧고 강렬한 이 스타일 no next 나를 따라 쉽게. 지게 워 지게 도 지게 봐 new world. 지게 워 지게 도 이제 지쳤어. 사라지는 emotion. 정이 빛을 잃어가.
That sound like feels something. That whole part, the way it felt, that was awesome.
Yeah, I want to go back to it.
That's what I was saying. That's freaking awesome.
Yeah, they leave the little bit of space.
Yeah.
I noticed, I didn't bring it up, but during Cyberpunk, the very last little when the third chorus hits, they left like an extra beat of pause, and I saw you like anticipating the drop because I did the same thing. Yeah, they play with that space really well, especially because that song and this song are really like, it's building an emotion as much as it is like being a song, if that makes sense. Like the atmosphere setting is equally as, actually it's more important than the content of the music like specifically, but the music is so good that it creates this like, it's like this song is tense.
Yeah.
It doesn't stop. It's completely going, and then the little bridge at the end, and then it's crazy.
I could tell it was already building something because it sounds awesome. I don't know what it is.
Yeah. Like it's a constant drop. Yeah, it did. Yeah, it builds and they leave that beat.
We went silent for the rappers. When you said K-pop, I was not expecting this. That really good rapper. Productions like boom boom.
Yeah, like chug.
Great perform. I'm sure they're really good performers now. They're
Yeah,
dancing choreography.
we don't need to worry about this. This is lore stuff that is not important. I'll keep it there. All right, so second listen, the only song you listened to twice. How is that like from first to second? How has your thoughts evolved?
That when because again, first time ever listening, it's like I'm picking. I'll listen to it. I'm like, wow, that's cool. And then when I try to explain it, I forget the words and stuff.
Yeah,
Now seeing it back, it was reminding me everything I thought was cool. I was like, mark that down. The way they built it was freaking awesome. And
yeah,
the fact that they can do it with the production and also with multiple voices, because that's nothing like R&B or hip hop or anything I listen to. They don't have that many people that talented. So like, again, like multiple people, incredible production. They even use space well. Like everything's crafted perfectly. To be honest. And just the beat, like it was funny you said something. I forgot you said something like you didn't expect to hear like this level of or this kind of song.
Mhm.
I was not expecting to hear this kind of song. That's crazy.
yeah. And that's like I didn't expect that having heard all of the songs previous because this is like 9 albums in. So like this sound, like I've heard a lot. I'd heard a lot of albums from them. Is that the right math? I think it's 8 or 9 because I'm pretty sure the most recent one was the 12th. But yeah, it's incredible. This is my favorite song from them for sure.
Definitely favorite so far. I just said that with the last one too.
Yeah, it's anyone that watch my videos, they know that that's how every album listen I had on. It's like, oh, this is actually my favorite, and then it's just whatever song I'm listening to at that point was my favorite. So yeah, music video is the first taste of a K-pop music video and choreography, which is something that I was surprised by how much I loved choreography just generally in K-pop and music videos too. I don't know about you. I didn't watch music videos at all for anything because they don't really make them in Western like pop music and stuff. So, what's your what are your first thoughts on that?
Yeah, I've never really been a music video guy either. I think because most of the people I like aren't really performers.
Yeah.
But that the choreography was great, and I don't really know dance, but that was awesome.
Yeah.
It's not really relevant. Or is this like a very good looking group of guys where it's like
Yeah, I would say so.
Okay, yeah, because I mean I remember back in school I'd see so many girls with wallpapers of K-pop bands. I didn't know who they were, but they're K-pop bands. They tell me.
Yeah.
So I was wondering, they're all young guys, so I was assuming. But I mean, they could all dance.
Yeah.
They could all sing. It pretty crazy. I like it wasn't just like it was multiple settings. It was really cool.
Yeah.
But like having 8 guys and then it was really cool. The 8 guys doing choreography.
Yeah.
Really cool.
I think that's what
sorry.
No,
are
please.
most of them like this?
The music videos?
Yeah, like
I think in terms of intensity and like set design and just like quality, yes. This specific style, no. This was like a genuine shock to me.
Really?
Stylistically the sound, like like legitimate rock influence with the guitar in the background. This is really unique.
I like the way it started with I don't know what that was, but it started like the bass got to it and started shaking, and that set it up here.
Yeah, like with the speaker over
Yeah,
there.
that was cool.
Yeah, so this is this is like showing the infiltration, and if you care to get into the lore at some point, because a lot of fans actually don't, which is funny. I will explain further because I have enough thoughts on this to write a video essay. Hint: I've been trying to write one for like a month.
It is pretty cool to see people dancing and being really good at it, rather than like the rappers I watch just kind of pointing and stuff. You know what I mean? It's pretty cool.
I mean, that is like, I feel like on to that point and just like the general, you mentioned like how unique it is for 8 different people in a group. I think a lot of people who have a distaste for K-pop, like in terms of the art, like the industry is a different thing, but who their initial thought is to disrespect or not have a lot of respect for the art of K-pop, like for music and stuff. I think they think that having so many members kind of waters it down, but they're missing that it really does make it harder to have a cohesive song with 8 different voices and styles like coming together like this, and the fact they can do it so flawlessly and the performance like matches that. I think it's a testament to
that's why I'm so blown away. It's like, this is so out of left. I mean, I know whoever's watching, they're used to it. This is freaking crazy. Like the fact,
Yeah.
because even collaborations I watched, it's like verse, someone else has a hook, and then someone else has another verse. If it's like
Yeah.
a collaboration of three, this is like the way it like I don't sound like a broken record, but the way I'm seeing it go from that guy to that guy to that guy, and like it's nothing. No one misses a beat. It's crazy, and it's used like utilizing different skills of singing, deep voices, and then rapping. It's cool.
Yeah, no, it's a genuine feat for all K-pop groups, just like
And
that it can happen.
yeah, and
but
then the
for
fact
these
that
guys
like a
specifically.
lot of times we'll see like, oh, they're in American music, oh, their voice doesn't match this beat, their rapping styles doesn't match this beat. Everyone's matched whatever they've been on.
Yeah,
Pretty cool.
and that goes back to the previous point about having in-house producers,
Yeah.
because that is a legitimate problem in
Oh.
greater K-pop. I have some stuff I could show you off the video. But yeah, because that is true, and I think that's why Ateez stood out to me. So the groups that I like aren't gonna have those problems, I guess is the point, because that is a legitimate issue.
Yeah, I also like that every song sounded like production wise sounded pretty similar, like or not similar, but like
No, yeah, but
you know what I mean. They're not gonna get it, but Tip and Butterfly, like the jazz influence.
yeah,
You listen to an album, it's not like what's that and then that's different. It's really steady. It sounds cool.
yeah, yeah. So there's some references that they'll get, but yeah, it is 100%. That's why I mean, calling an album a concept album in like American or Western music culture is kind of doing it a disservice, because they expect like, oh, it's kind of out there. It's not really like, but like this is a concept album in that the concept is clear, the message in each song is clear, the emotions of each song are present in like a way that is familiar, but everything is unique, and you're gonna see that again in the ring. So let's get to that. I really like this.
Don't be afraid, open your eyes, follow me, coming. I'm not okay.
I love Jungkook. You say it every time. Okay, I have like 5 things to say. I hope I don't forget. Okay, first, the flow of I wish I knew the words.
Okay.
But it was a little bit slower. You know what I'm talking? It was like
Mm-hmm.
that was awesome. I haven't really heard that so far. That was really cool. Other thing, John, of course, you killed it again. And then the beat switch. I think it was Mingy was rapping on it. One of those beats was freaking cool, and it was like something I haven't really heard so far. That was really cool.
Yeah.
Man, that was cool. The way they utilize everyone's skill set, to the highest potential. It's freaking awesome. I wish we could go back, but
Yeah, we can.
do
Play the
you
whole
know
song
what I'm?
if you want.
The other thing I forgot was you have to know what I'm talking about. It went like a second of silence, a space, and then a hard beat. That was freaking awesome.
Yeah, that was right here.
They've done so good so far from what I've heard with the space they've utilized.
Yeah.
They caught me in the beginning. You pointed out. I kind of anticipated. I was like, but
Yeah.
I think now I know better. But that's my favorite part. I think so far the way they've utilized that, especially in Gorilla, where they build it and then the silence and then drop it. It's freaking
Yeah.
awesome.
This is a massive song. We can go back and just pause. Let me know when to pause, because
Yeah.
I love this song too. So
Yeah.
yeah, because I think the second thing you were talking about was around here.
Don't be afraid, open your eyes,
I like that all the production is kind of fast. Like,
Yeah.
가능할 수 없는 의미
you went from Jungho to that is like flawless transition.
Yeah.
You can't do that with American music. This silence. That
Yeah.
that's
It hits so hard. Oh, it hits so hard.
and then that flow where he's kind of going,
Yeah.
That's the other thing else. It's really cool.
Yeah. Yeah. I love it. Wait.
I'm not okay. I'm not okay. 끊어버리겠어 지겨운 반복. 사람들이 흘린 눈물이 가늘이고. Oh no. 더 크게 외쳐 소리를 위로 make way say.
Yeah. I'm glad that you pointed out Songwa, his name. His cadence there,
Yeah.
because he's kind of like a sub, like third rapper who kind of gets in a little
Okay.
bit. He has some of my favorite delivery in a song you'll hear further on down the line. He's very underrated when it comes to that to me, because his voice is super
Yeah.
unique, and the way he approaches this like rap style, because I don't think he would call himself a rapper, is like he's fine kind of being incoherent almost, where like he's not enunciating any of the words. The way I think about it is like they kind of like pour out of his mouth almost, and I'm thinking of a specific song.
This beat is really cool. You could have shown me that beat before. I would have said there's no way that's in K-pop.
Yeah, the production is pretty crazy. Yeah, let's go.
I like that. His phrase, the phrase.
Yeah, they bring it in really nice. I gotta go back to
Oh no. 더 크게 외쳐 소리를 위로
That part always. This, okay, the beat drop, and then his flow, we've talked about how I love it. It's like, no, and then a little bit faster. Oh shoot, I forgot who it was.
we can go back a little
Just
bit.
a
I think
little
it was
bit more.
Son, but yeah,
Yeah, from him, and then who's the second guy?
I'm pretty sure it's Son.
Yeah, it goes from him to him to him. It went awesome, and then it peaks with Jongho because he's able to hit the high notes so well.
Yeah,
That I love that sequence there.
yeah, it's one. Of them.
And then Jongho holds it, and then it goes to Yo Sang,
Yeah,
and that's a little bit figured to Song's part.
yeah,
The way their cadence is.
yeah. It's really crazy too how in this song there's like basically two choruses back to back. Like,
Yeah, it's
typically after such a huge drop, after Jongho's finished and going into Yo Sang, it would be like a post chorus type thing. But they go back down,
Yeah.
and they just build back up again. It's crazy.
If you go back to just a little bit, I just caught something like just a little. Okay. The production to Yose, his part is awesome, and then they bring the bass in or whatever that was from San to Django. I just caught that. That was really cool.
Yeah,
Right here, it's just this.
yeah.
It's just this kind of. And then they bring that in. That's.
Warring to bring them all.
Little Lord of the Rings reference there. Yeah.
Has San's hair always been like that?
Hair is different every single
Okay.
comeback. Yeah, that's the looks. Don't get used to this thing. It's gonna be different. Yeah, every single time.
Because I've mentioned how I used to see Wallplay, but I specifically remember seeing like a blonde hair. So, but if that's common, then maybe not.
Yeah, but that's the Ring. I think this is one of the harder songs they have, just like in terms of just straight kick and like hit punching. It's up there. Yeah, so the Ring. I did a did a rank every songs thing in honor of 1,000 subscribers for Ateez, and the ring was surprisingly low. Like it was still like one of the top tiers, but for this album, I will say, I think it very possibly is like the last one for me.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
I
love
it's
this
definitely
song.
not better than Gorilla and what was the one before that?
Cyberpunk.
Yeah, okay. But I was wondering because I thought this was really strong. I was wondering, and
Yeah.
obviously you won't answer, but I wonder if there's a weak track on that one.
Yeah. I'll certainly let you determine that. There's 2 songs left, just for
Okay,
clarity.
wow, pretty short out.
And the next one is Where Do I Go? Very interesting.
Where I go.
Right, so that was
Wow.
Where Do I Go?
Man, I'll tell you, I'm honestly blown away. This whole we have one song left,
Yeah.
so maybe I should say it, but it truly was not what I was expecting. I liking it a lot more, than I thought I would. To be honest, I thought San was strong on that track, and really they're all strong. Truthfully, we've listened to 7 so far.
6.
Sick. We listened to 6 so far. There hasn't been one part of any of the 8 guys versus little parts where I've thought like, oh, that shouldn't have been there.
Yeah.
Truly, really strong. In the beginning, Mingy had a part that was a little different. It wasn't as heavy straight rapping. I thought that was pretty cool. I like that side of him.
Yeah, he plays with the melodies.
Yeah, it was pretty cool.
Yeah, this is as divisive as a track as this album
Okay,
can be.
I was gonna say it sounded a little different, but like in a good way. The songs prior are like really like in there and powerful and like strong and like I said, it makes me like feel the type of way.
Yeah,
I do say I do like that more, but I still really liked it. It's kind of the way again they built again, and it wasn't as strong. It was like a boom. I thought that was cool. Like it caught me off guard. It's kind of like it just continued with the chorus kind of thing. It was really cool.
yeah. I think in the interest of cohesion and like talking about how these things, the songs kind of like fit together, I really appreciate specifically the song, because this song acts as like a transition into the next song, which I'll save until we hear that, and then even beyond that, the next album. So it's like if you listen back to back, this kind of, because you're right, the sound is not completely different, but the intensity, everything, it's not as driving. It's kind of, it's like the lyrics are about like someone being lost and wandering, not knowing where to go. That's like that kind of the delivery of the song, of the vocals, and the kind of drawn out nature of the instrumental with like the brass kind of like, it's like really like laid out, like it's like kind of almost whiny, but like in a positive way. It matches the tone of the album, like how it switches, but the song and the lyrics, it's a super coherent song to me. It's wonderful.
Yeah, really, really cool.
Yeah, so that is one of my more favorite songs on this album. There's 7 and I love all of them. I would say I'll first listen, it was Gorilla, Cyberpunk, and then this song actually, even a bit before Sector 1, like the first song we heard. But I mean, I love all of these. So yeah, like I said, kind of signifies a transition in the story, but also this for the next song, which is the outro called New World, which is, I don't know if you caught it at all. They mention a new world a lot throughout the lyrics of these songs. So this is kind of like the culmination. So let's get to New World.
Okay, that's a closer. Like that felt like a closer.
Yeah.
You know, it felt like New World. Here we are. Open up. Okay, that I can't say my favorite. I have to listen, but one of my favorite choruses by far.
Yeah.
The way it went. God, I keep forgetting who it was, but it went from someone to someone, and it went. Open up your eyes, open up your mind,
Yeah.
whole new world, and then the next guy.
Mhm.
That was freaking awesome. Relatively recently, it went empty like the music, and he said something, and it went back, and it went heavy. That was freaking awesome as well.
Yeah.
That was like a closer. It felt. I think that one I tracked the lyrics better than any of the other ones.
Mhm.
Really cool.
Yeah.
So this is a 3-part series.
Yeah.
So it's all like the story's continuing to the next one.
Yeah, there's a little spoiler. The next the intro song to the very next album, excuse me, is called This World. So it's like New World
So
to
they're in the
This
next.
World.
Okay, see
It's symmetry like that.
I before you said that's what I thought because it did such a good job, saying
Yeah.
like here we are, old
Yeah.
New World.
No, the way it flows from song to
Yeah,
song
that-
and
that-
album to
okay.
album is
I
is
really
perfect.
like that grand ending.
Yeah.
That was freaking awesome.
Yeah. That was the biggest thing for me when I was listening is that, well, just for me, just listening to music generally, if I'm listening to a full album, I want the intro to feel like an intro, like establish a presence, like this did, and I want the outro to feel final. It doesn't have to be like ending, but I have to feel like something is happening, like an emotion is coming to an end, or like something's being established. And I think this was really like this is the most. This is a spoiler. This is the most hopeful the sound gets in this little trilogy. Like this is like it genuine. Like we can, yeah, you can take it off. It's like we're going to be in this new world. We're gonna establish it. We're gonna all do it. We're gonna rally together. And this world is the next song, and we'll leave that for later. I wish I can show you those, but I want to go from the beginning.
Yeah,
I just wanna show you this.
that was freaking okay. Now I can talk full album. That was awesome. Like okay,
Full album thoughts.
the intro.
Yeah, I'll let you see.
Okay, first I'll start just with the overall thing that never not hearing anything K-pop at all, not knowing what it is. Again, I thought kind of pop, like pop I've used to in America. Because I mean, I know, like I said, I know girls really like them because I was around a lot of them that talk about pictures on the whatever. So I know really popular, all like young, good-looking guys. It's called K-pop, so I assume kind of like poppy.
Yeah.
One Direction, Duran Duran to go way back from America, like pop thing. But the production was freaking phenomenal. The way it was just like in you, it was fast. The Gorilla and keep forgetting the one before was the pop Cyberpunk, yeah, like those two. But so intro, I said it, when I listened to it, it brought you in with the production, with the not muffled, but like the voice kind of quiet.
Yeah.
And then the way it ended was like it was flowing into the next one. And then the ending, it felt so grand, both in like it wrapped it up, or like we're going into the whole new world, but then it also leads the new world. What's the new world? So now I'm intrigued for the next one.
Yeah.
And I already know you told me it was a 3-part series. Now I'm like excited to hear the next thing. What's the new world? I wonder how much of a break was from this to the part 2.
This was late summer to like fall. They actually have a song in between this that I will show you. That's not an album release. It's one of the best songs they've ever released. It's like canon, I guess, in like the the lore. It's an incredible song. But that released around Christmas time, and then the next album that followed up with the continuation was March. I believe it's March in 2023. So this is 2022, March 2023. Maybe a little earlier, but it was around there. Or a little later.
Now I'm gonna look at the track list. That I can't. I think I don't know. It's hard to pick favorites. What surprised me was I can't believe The Ring was like you said. I mean, I'm sure none of the fans think it's bad, like any of the songs. But you said that was in the lower. I was really surprised by that. That was probably one of my favorites. Or not probably. That was one of my favorites. So that really surprised me. Cyberpunk felt like a hit. Same with Gorilla.
Yeah.
Those two are probably Oh, and then Sector 1, the second song here was really good too.
Yeah.
And then what was the sixth one where it was
Where
kind
Do
of
I Go?
a little bit different. That was really cool.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that seeing that, where do I go into New World? That's cool as well.
Yeah, that's the thing. Every little bit it works in like that storytelling.
Individual, I thought they were all freaking great. I probably said Jung Ho's name like six. Oh, that I gotta ask, is there like one superstar where like the favorite? Because if I would guess it would be Son or Jung Ho.
Okay, I'll let the fan base.
Yeah, I mean I'm sure they're all really popular.
Yeah.
I really did like all of them. I did say Jung Ho and Son, their vocals
Yeah,
were really good.
you
Song was
remember
awesome.
Jong Ho's voice and name in
Yeah,
the second
okay,
song.
yeah,
So that's usually like the.
And then Mingy was a really good rapper as well. Too.
Mingy is throughout the whole thing. Like he's become my
he's
favorite.
really important to like crucial. It seems like to
Yeah.
the thing.
Yeah.
Maybe one of my favorites. Mingy.
Yeah, I mean, truthfully, this is a group that is pretty well like loved throughout the fan base. There are some groups where it very much is like this person and the rest, like in terms of fan like love and just like general support. But this is a pretty their whole concept, and we'll get into this more, is like all it is 8 is fate. Like they all were destined to be together in this group. So it's like the fans don't want to like be like, oh, it's a singular person. That still happens for sure, but it's very much an even support.
I think the biggest thing for me was how the production was so like powerful, and like it makes you feel some type of way. The way they're able to captivate on that, plus like incredible singer level vocals, that to me, like how those two mix with Jung Ho, he goes super high. Mingy raps really well, and the production's really hard. That combination, the way they use different sounds, the spaces, I didn't think that was possible to have 8 people, every single one of them be crucial. None of them have weak parts.
Yeah.
Have singers, have rappers, have powerful production. That I really think that was possible in music. Truthfully.
Yeah, it's a pretty remarkable thing. So yeah.
I mean, final thought. Okay, so seven tracks. Intro was great. Ending was great. I didn't think there was a miss. Favorite, I think it would have to be Gorilla. Maybe because we watched the video too.
Yeah.
Just the way, I don't know, that makes you like feel some type of way.
Yeah. Yeah. You know what? I'm calling it audible. Fans will be Ateez, the fandom name. Every K-pop group has a fandom name. This is gonna be a short video. Let's watch the live. Or I'm gonna put fan chant, and they will know what it means. You talked about the energy and how it makes you feel pumped up. This is one of the most exciting things for me that I can think of. It's only a 40-second song. It's gonna be very loud.
So what was the most streamed song? This one?
Yeah, the title track is always the most streamed one.
I
think Cyberpunk was number 2. But yeah, okay.
I think that's my one too.
We can talk about it after.
The end one was incredible too. Maybe top 3, top 5.
Yeah, no. Sorry. We'll for sure talk about that. But I will be remiss if I did not show you. This is the... you'll see. It's a fan
that makes sense. That was freaking. That
Yeah.
gave me chills. I mean, that makes sense. That was my favorite part of the whole album. Was the the gorilla. I think that part of the gorilla.
Yeah, the way. Why can't I find it? There's this. I can show you later. There's one where it shows the outside, like just a video of the outside. Of I think it's in Spain,
Shaking.
or I think it might have been Chile. Like it's so loud. It's mind numbing. Yeah. Anyway, sorry, I had to interject because I needed to show.
Yeah, that was like one of the first things I thought of though, because obviously I'm assuming they're incredibly popular.
Yeah.
But the fact that the songs were like so powerful, I was like, man, this is probably crazy live.
Yeah, and the performances are pretty ridiculous. But yeah, so back to kind of overall thoughts. What is you kind of mentioned a lot of songs that you felt like were the top. If you had to choose a like top 3 firm for the first listen, what would it be?
I would definitely have to listen again. First listen, Gorilla stood out obviously. That's probably like a common thing. Like that's probably like that's crazy. Cyberpunk for sure as well. I don't know if this is unpopular, but New World and The Ring I thought were freaking awesome. I think New World is maybe it's something, you know, in my heart, just the fact that it wrapped it up, and I was like when I listened to it, I was like, wow, okay,
Yeah.
makes sense, cool. And then Sector 1 was also really good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a common problem.
I
It's
guess,
very tough.
okay, if I know for sure Gorilla and Cyberpunk, I'll say New World 3, because I don't know, maybe it's because it was the ending of the first K-pop album I've ever heard.
Yeah.
But that was really cool. One of my favorite choruses.
I could do that. Yeah, the way I look at it, this is a crazy comparison. Real of Good Kid, Mad City is not actually the ending. The final track, it's Compton.
Yeah.
But Real to me is like the true ending. I mean, it kind of is too, because in the little at the end they like take out the tape. But that to me, like, it's such a overall wrap up, or even like Mirror from Mr. Morale. It's
exactly.
like it feels so final. Like if you,
Yeah.
I believe if you listen to that song or the songs we just mentioned out of context, and you're like, if I had to guess what place on the album it was, I feel like I would say, oh, this is like a final song. It feels like it's wrapping something up.
Yeah, I think that was probably, I think that was the first thing I said. I think that's why it's in my top 3. We listened to a song called Where Do I Go, and then this grand, you know, ending of, you know, New World. It makes me think, okay, we're going to the New World. Then now I want to know what that's about. I want to know the next album. So yeah, I think, that's definitely gonna be one of my favorites. I think that's my top 3.
Yeah, very valid. I'm sure many fans will agree. So yeah, beyond Ateez, which we will be doing, and we're gonna expand into more stuff. This is your first time interacting with K-pop, really ever, right?
Yeah, ever, truly.
Yeah. So how do you feel about? Are you like? Do you want to keep going? Is that like something you're looking forward to?
I hope that the rest of it. I don't know about other groups. I hope it sounds somewhat similar to this. That it truly was freaking awesome. Truly. Like I don't think, I mean, the fans that probably grew up on it, I don't think they understand how shocking it is to hear 8 people like all fit perfectly.
Yeah.
And not complain. Like, you hear a track with 3 people in America, a lot of times you're like, okay,
it's like we could have gone without 2 of them.
And then and then the fact that it's not verse hook like the 3 guys. It's true. It's mind blowing. I'm kind of speechless about how that was.
Yeah.
Production was the most shocking part, because I assumed they probably gonna sing well. I was also shocked how well Mingy rapped, and
I think it's a fair thing.
The way they utilize production and voice to build stuff, the way they use silence, the way like every track it kind of got you in with the sounds is really freaking awesome.
Yeah.
The only thing is, it's like, like you said, it's your favorite album. It's a little scary. Like, you start with the masterpiece and you go downhill.
Yeah, I've thought about that, especially going back to the beginning. I truly believe they have no misses in like, and it for album wise and frankly song wise. There are very few songs that are just like, there are some, and I'll tell you when it happens, but it's gonna be a different sound. Going back, just to make sure expectations are clear, but the quality is there from the beginning, and I think it's really cool to. I heavily considered going into this whole journey with like just starting at the beginning, but I did want you to kind of get a sense of like what I think is the pinnacle. They don't. The good news is that after this, they don't leave this quality. It's this, and frankly, some of it is better. Like, production gets even more crisp. This is like sentimental to me, so it's my favorite, and I believe it's the best. But just back to back albums, just straight up like.
That's
yeah.
Cool. I like that it's 7 tracks, you know, shorter. I freaking hate these 25 song albums. It just doesn't make sense. I'm sure they could have, if it's 3 parts, they could just pile them on. Instead of 21 out songs right there. Like, no, that's not necessary.
It's so funny thinking about that, because that is a legitimate problem with kind of newer streaming era rap stuff in America,
so
because you want to pile on as many streams as possible. Like, Drake albums are 35, 30 songs.
So
it's the exact opposite in K-pop.
Really?
Like, people are like, I told you about not specifically, there's a group called Seraphim, which I really like. Their most recent album was 5 songs. One of them was an intro, kind of like we heard there, but like just like an intro song, so it's barely a song. 5 tracks total. The runtime was 13 minutes. Like, that's crazy.
A minute longer than my favorite song.
Yeah. So it's like, it's so funny how different like that parallel is crazy. But yeah, I'm really glad to have been able to share with you and with you guys as well. For anyone that's like returning to my channel, and I've seen me do the Ateez stuff, that you guys know how much I love this, and now I've kind of been missing them a lot, just generally, like the whole feeling of experiencing it again, which is why I think reactions are fun and I'll watch them a lot. So now I get to like watch it simultaneously and feel it again. So I'm really excited selfishly, and I hope that it's
I'm really excited. The fact that I loved it, I was a little nervous because I mean, just completely blind, like no idea, you know,
like genuinely it was.
Yeah, truly.
Yeah.
It really lived up to the hype because I did hear one of, you know, your favorite album, you know, one of their best albums.
Yeah.
Definitely lived up to the hype, and now it's so exciting when you go into something new and you actually love it. So now it's 1,000 doors just open. We can go on a journey where we listen to all of their albums, you know, maybe another group.
Yeah, it's
opened up an entire world that, you know, I'm excited to go down.
Yeah, I'm really happy about it. Like I said, we're referencing potential different groups. Ateez will be consistent. It will be every single album, just like I did. Maybe it won't be as in depth where I do 3 different videos for a specific album, but it's going to be there, and I'm really excited. I'm legitimately relieved that he liked it because there was a very real chance that he didn't, because we're not lying about how little information he had. So yeah, Ryan, Matthew, we're signing off. Thank you so much. We'll be back soon. I'll be back with more videos. I know I've missed like 4 weeks. I promise that won't happen again unless it does, but it probably won't. Thank you all so much. See you soon. Peace.